Krunchy. Stays crunchy. And milk.
For the first time in years, I blanked out on my first stop at record store day this year. They ain't have a damn thing.
Damn.
Was in line. I took the lead with me. I didn't take the lead the last couple of times. So we hung out, standing in line. Not too deep in the line either. So I'm just like, oh, this should be okay. And nada. Nothing. I was like, you motherfuckers ain't got nothing going on in this store. I'm like, I'm so salty. But I was like, okay, clearly that's what the day about to be. But I hang out, come home, do some overtime because work was work's computer, not my computer per se, was wilding and wouldn't let me log in. And I got home and it was like, oh, this decided to work. And it turns out I had sent a email message, whatever, like, hey man, let me in. And they was like, oh, okay, sorry about that. So worked a little overtime. It was like, hey, let's go to Vinyl Groove. Vinyl Groove usually has a line like that surrounds blocks when it used to be in another location. So now it's over there nearer to Dan. And I got there, it was popping in there. They had a full ass live band in the back in the corner. Their new location is kind of nice for that kind of thing. They've had a DJ in there a couple of times and so forth. So it was bumping in that motherfucker, but I'm like, I can't hear anyone.
Oh no.
So I walk in, I turn my head, and I'm like, oh shit. I immediately run to the cash register because the one thing, the one I had to have was at the cash register. And that's
De La Soul.
Bigger respect. It's a couple of joints, couple of unreleased joints from two brand new tracks, and then two instrumentals from the Grind Date, which is the Future and Rock Cocaine Flow, which was a song they did with MF Doom, which is an amazing track, and I love that I have an instrumental for it. And this is nice. This is actually oddly enough a weird 7-inch gatefold, 2 records. So it's a funky little design. I was like, cool, I got that one. So then I whispered to the dude, I'm like, hey man, because I'm at the character. I'm like, hey, do you have that Virgin Suicide 25th anniversary? He goes, nah, man, sold out. I'm like, damn it, I want to get that for Vanessa because she loves that movie. It's like Sofia Coppola's first movie, so I know she would appreciate that record. And I'm like, damn, then Vanessa's like, I got a headache. Take me back home. I'm like, it's cool. I already knew what it was. She was playing on her phone as we was driving around. She got motion sick. She just don't know that she got motion sick, but I know it. So I take her home, and me and the kid, I'm like, one more, and I'm like, and he like, all right, I'll go. So we rolled all the way out to the Boondocks to go to another record store, and they was pretty much picked over too. And I was like, fucker. But then dude was super nice. He was like, hey man, look, come back in like a week, and if we got anything we can find for you, we will just find it for you, and you can pay for a record. I'm like, okay, that's kind of dope. And who knows, I might, but it's like that shit. I was way out in the Lyrio box, so I was out. So I don't know if I'm gonna be doing that a second time, but still. But I came home, and I know what the deal is every time. Record store day usually is pretty good for, I'll come home, I'll check what I was missing, and I'll just see eBay or Discogs. And people usually charge about $5-10 more than MSRP. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. That's my you stood in line fee, and I can deal with that. These fools is wilding.
You got to pay the tariffs, man.
Mm-hmm. No, because people are trying to charge now 2, 3, 4, 5 times what these records cost. And I'm like, this is not what we do. We are a people.
Yeah, no.
The most beautiful word in the English language, tariffs.
Man. So I was like, I ain't gonna trip. We'll see what Sunday morning brings. Actually, we'll see what Saturday night brings. So I go through.
I thought you were about to talk about Easter, like you were gonna get like an Easter basket with records in it or something.
Nah. So what it is I know later in the evening on Saturdays they'll be like record store day leftovers. Most stores, if they got anything left over, they'd be like, be here at X time and we can hook something up. And there's a record store down in Cincinnati called Platinum Records. And they've been good to as a spot that has enough supply that I'm like, the next day they'll probably have some stuff online. So I looked through and they had the Virgin Suicides that I wanted. They had Freddie Gibbs and they had something else I was looking at. I was considering getting this John Legend. There's John Legend, like basically extras from his first album, Get Lifted. And so I just put the links there, set my alarm because they open at 8. They said 8 o'clock these bitches go on sale. But as the night went along and I kept coming back to the computer, I was like, do I really want that John Legend? Because I have that album. I have a real good copy of Get Lifted, and I don't really need his leftovers from that album. It's cool. It would be nice to have them, but I'm like, not really tripping off of it. And I wanted the Freddie Gibbs, but I was also like, am I about to spend this on this Freddie Gibbs? I'm like, maybe not. So I started checking off this. Like, you know what I really want? I want that Virgin Suicide before Vanessa. Focus on that, and we'll get it. Alarm go off. Wait the next morning. I go to the link that I already have open, and it's doing nothing. I refresh the link, doing nothing. So I go type it in right quick, pop it back up, and then get a fresh link. It's right there. I buy it. Cool. Got it. Cool. That record will be here eventually. But today I'm poking around because there was a release of the Wicked soundtrack on Record Store Day. That is the one version of that fucking soundtrack that I would want the most. The cover is black. I will, I'm good. Yes, but we have the ability to share. I'm so salty I can't get this. Where you at? What? Share the screen with y'all. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Why I want this first? One, love that art.
Yeah.
Just clean. But this one, so the way they're selling it currently, if I were to buy it right now, there is one from I think Walmart that has split pink green vinyl. There is one with Ariana Grande on the cover that has pink vinyl. There's one with Cynthia Erivo on the cover that says green vinyl. This one had a green and a pink record, and it had the AITA song as a bonus track on it. So I was like, "Look, man, I want that shit." Sold out everywhere. Everywhere. Like there's no getting it. And now, if I can find it for you on, let's say, eBay. Well, here, now I'll jump to Discogs. Look at the soundtrack. So this is what the love of records gets you nowadays, people, because now everybody think they love records. They don't. They kind of love records. I love records. Let's pull up some prices for y'all. Here's my screen again, entire screen. That's the bottom. That's the lowest. Here, let me get at a little zoom in.
Yeah, I'm old. No, that's not real.
That's the low price.
Child, they're not even charging that to see Wicked on Broadway these days.
Yeah. Look, this
That's
person,
crazy.
this foolish individual thinks they're gonna get $800 for it.
That plus $20 shipping.
Yeah, kiss my ass. So guess what? I'm not getting that record, but I'll be fine. I'm on the wrong side of the screen. I'm like trying to mouse to the wrong button. Had to come back over here. But I'm sorry that I can't get it. And what it is, I'll end up with the Walmart version that's like the split pink and green, or I'll end up with somebody's version. But just like, get the fuck out of here, man. It's like unnecessary. You playing me.
$300
is ridiculous. Even the very notion of it is like, come on, bro. You wild. I have records on my shelf over here. We talked about before that my copy of Blonde, which is like, day one copy of Blonde, does go for a pretty penny, nowadays. But it's like, get the fuck out of here. Not that one I can understand. This, it's like 30 different versions of Wicked soundtrack right now, including the Broadway, the original Broadway, the most recent Broadway. It's like you can get Wicked on vinyl for a reasonable price in other situations. And so that one is just, patience will pay off for that one. I'm gonna end up with that one from somebody, so I just gotta be cool about it.
And part 2 not even out yet, so you might have another opportunity for like a quadruple,
a whole little, the whole soundtrack. Yeah, looking for a good situation. So like I said, I've been doing this for, good Lord, now I don't know, a very long while, and to go out and really just bet like basically I don't know, 100 because I got the one. and okay, today, while poking around for this Wicked, ended up finding somebody with a copy of Freddie Gibbs. It's a record store in Ann Arbor, Michigan, had a copy of that Freddie Gibbs at a price I was happy with, at a shipping price I was happy with. They just sent it me via mail, which is $5. Got it, cool. And so I did get that order as well. So I got some stuff, but I hate the point of Record Store Day, y'all. And if you are a vinyl collector or a head, is to go out and visit your local record store and go meet with people and see people and commiserate with other record heads and so forth. And it's just children who call shit vinyls, and I want to choke them every time they do, because the plural of vinyl is vinyl. It's like deer is deer, fish is fish. You don't got to
like
put
the
that.
Past tense of cast is cast.
Don't put that S on them. Cast it. Oh my god.
That's one of the very few, because my English is not perfect, but it's one of the few things that grinds my gears. Casted. Every time I see like a announcement about some movie upcoming and somebody says casted, I'm like, this fake.
Like you don't got no good damn sense. But I'm sad. I'm not sad. Sad is far too strong. It was simple disappointment. I was disappointed that it didn't work out for me as well as it normally would. But also now I'm thinking maybe next Record Store Day I might just go down to Cincinnati to Plaid Room, because like I said, they seem to always have a good supply of everything. They have a good little situation for the next day and so forth. So I'm like, maybe I just go kick it down in the Natty. Go to, what's that shit called? We always talk about going to, but I've never gone to Jungle Gyms.
I think it's Jungle Gyms.
Yeah, and kicking it Jungle Gyms, maybe, and then go stand in line for some We'll see what next year brings. Like I said, it was only a very few that I wanted this go around anyway, and that I truly was like, I got to get these records. That Daylight was the one, and I'm glad I got it. This Virgin Suicide, like I said, I want that for Vanessa. She don't even know what she knows. A record is coming. She just doesn't know that it's a record for her and what it is. And it's like dope. It's like it comes with this blue-white vinyl. It comes with a little 7-inch flexi disc of some other song. So it's a very nice version of the release, and it has sold out everywhere. So it was a Record Store Day exclusive. That's another thing. They do Record Store Day exclusives. Record Store Day first, meaning they'll be here, but somebody will eventually press them up some other ways. And then they do regional exclusives. So like there was this one Cali Agents. It was Planet Asia, and who was it? Cali Agents, Planet Asia, and I cannot think of that brother's name. Anyway, and that was a regional record. So of course I could not get that on this side of the country, but so they were selling it for a price I was unhappy with. I'm like, that is another thing that has happened is, though they're making more records, though there's more factories making more records and pressing more records, they're charging about $15-20 more than records cost a couple of years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But also, we just talked about last week, video game prices are going up by about $10-20 as well. It's just kind of where we are pricing wise. And I'm getting to that point in my age where I can be like, I once paid 35 cents for a candy bar. It's like I'm just there at this point. So
gas was 99 cents a gallon when I got my license.
So I used I get fuel perks from the grocery store we shop at, and I used our fuel perks the other day, and I filled my tank for $5.13, and I was like, this is like when I was a child filling up the gas tank at 7-Eleven with my big sister. So it really took your point back.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm just pissing and moaning about the cost of things and shady people. And that's another thing. I'm standing in that line. I'm like, one, you don't look familiar. I don't think I've ever seen you stand in this line before. Two, you look like a motherfucker who don't really fuck with records. I feel like you're here to buy shit, to flip shit, and I don't like that. So,
I mean, that's the game though, because people don't want to go out and they buy it online. So it's the stood in line fee.
I love record stores.
Yeah, but you're like of a dying breed.
Yeah. Stupid me. It's okay. Like I said, somebody gonna be slipping on that damn that Wicked, and I'm gonna come up on it, and I'm gonna be fine. And if not, so be it. It's okay. I can listen to it elsewhere, and that can be the case. You know what I'm saying? So there, I've bitched, I've moaned. I guess I should give you a regular show now. You've heard my complaints. I'm gonna rhyme to you. Technically, I'm gonna rhyme to Nicju. Okay, I'm rhyming to all y'all, but it's always gonna be for her.
I hope I know it this time.
If you don't know this, people might come for you. So this one of them ones that's like, I think you'll know this one.
They could come for me all they want. I don't care.
I'm gonna do it, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, you right." It's going down tonight. You know I got to go get fitted. Hit the mall to get it. Then I stop and get my hair twisted up in ponytails and set a bell back to the grain and let my peoples know you know what's going down tonight. Man, we living. I got the 411 on the bumping. We riding with them heaters if they funkin', then we dumping. I'm stumping. In the meantime, my speakers are jumping up out the box. I see these broads choosing. Man, they sprung up on my Shirley locks. Ugh, made the block and they was all up on my bumper trying to pull me over, but now I get a nothing when I'm sober. Hit the gas and smoked it up, smashed off, I'm outie. Bending corners laughing cause I left a car cloudy. Went to my partner house and they was posted split in Vegas, betting $5 a game on Madden 95 on Sega. Taking out the room, fools leaving, laying on the ground. They better have some get back. Because tonight it's going down.
It's going down. Now, see, I know of the song, but I don't know the lyrics. I know the chorus.
It's going down tonight.
Tonight it goes down. Yeah. Have I ever told my Sally Cell tried to holler at me at the festival at the lake story?
Oh, that is please.
That's it. That's the essence of the story. He's like, baby in the white. Like, grabbed my elbow and I turned around and was like, no, thank you. My friend was like, girl, that's Sally Cell. I was like, I don't care.
I don't think so, sir. Vallejo, California's own Sally Cell. And that song just entered my head the other day, and then I was like, "Where's Sally Cell from?" And it said from Vallejo, and I was like, "That's a Bay Area joint. We'll just add that to the list." I had Nicju scheduled for this show in my mind before I talked to her about it. And if Nick on the show, well, one is because I like to have Nick on the show, but it also means our side project, Krème Patisserie, it's a Great British Bake Off podcast, is back and at them shits, edited and ready to go up already. Just got to write the notes.
Let go.
Your boy figured out his computer woes, most of them. I still think I need a new graphics card, but turns out they had updated Premiere twice in recent days, and that update don't like my computer at all. I had to go back 2 versions of Premiere just to edit the edit,
Wow.
and of course then edit Krème Patisserie. And so in that episode, now you have the intro that we couldn't see on our show. We couldn't see, but now it's in there. So when you watch it, you'll see it. You'll also see a big property of Roku at the bottom of the video because it's from the screener. So yeah, we back at it, y'all. We doing Krème Patisserie. I'll talk to you more about that in the little tea time segment of the business. But for right now, we're gonna do some news. We'll do some Amateur Assholes. Everybody has a little segment of the show. It's great. I gotta whip you up your own little video, Nick. You technically have music because I had to make Nick sends a voicemail situation.
Oh yeah.
You have music. Now I just need to find some images that fit the Nicju situation. So that's what's crackling there. But in the realm of the news, I got 2 ones for you. I'm probably not gonna read this whole thing. It's a little deep, but I thought it was interesting news and political-esque. But I've been trying to avoid politics in general because it weighs on my head too much. Politics in a good way in this case. Marty Schladen at Ohio Capital Journal on the byline. Ohio Medicaid got rid of big middlemen, paid pharmacies more, and saved $140 million, report says. Pharmacy middlemen working in Ohio on behalf of huge health conglomerates have long claimed they keep running. Let me pull that over here so I can look down the barrel of the camera. They have long claimed they keep drug costs down, but a report released last week calls that into question. The Ohio Department of Medicaid has been burned in the past year by big middlemen, and pharmacies across the state for years have said their Medicaid reimbursements were so scant, it is hard to stay in business. So the Medicaid department in 2022 gave the big pharmacy benefit managers, the PBMs, the boot, and created a new system for paying for drugs. The result, dispensing fees paid to pharmacies were boosted more than 1,200% on the average, and the new setup still achieves a savings of $140 million over a 2-year period, according to a study done by Milliman, the Medicaid department's actuarial firm. At the same time, the system managed to sign up nearly every pharmacy in the state, the report said. That makes Medicaid more accessible to Medicaid patients who often lack access to reliable transportation. Bottom line, the new system delivers on its goal of accountability, transparency, and fairness while doing it at a significantly lower administrative overhead cost to taxpayers, the Medicaid department said in a cover letter to lawmakers that accompanies the study. The big three PBMs control nearly 80% of the insured drug transactions in the United States. That gives them great leverage to negotiate huge rebates and fees from drug makers and to impose opaque contracts on pharmacies. The big PBMs have long claimed they use their size to squeeze savings from drug makers and pharmacies that they pass along to the insurers they represent. The conglomerates that own them also say the strict firewall stands between their business units to keep their middlemen from providing unfair advantages to insurers and pharmacies owned by the same corporation. But there's widespread complaints that the PBM's dealings are far from transparent, making it impossible for outsiders to know whether they're getting a good deal. In 2018, the Ohio Department of Medicaid learned that it wasn't. There's more to it. It'll be in your show notes. But check it out. Cut out the bullshit.
Bring the savings to the people.
Yeah, directly to them. So it's like, come on, y'all. But will Medicaid exist by the end of this year?
Probably not.
Probably. This one, Nick sent us via the Instagrams. It's from Cleveland.com. Sean McDonald on the byline. Cleveland initiative to battle homelessness finds housing for 154, closes nearly 50 encampments. A city-led effort has found housing for 154 people experiencing homelessness and closed 47 encampments as part of Cleveland's A Home for Every Neighbor program. First unveiled more than a year ago, Mayor Justin Bibb's $2 million program has already surpassed its initial goal of finding housing for 150 individuals by 2026. Cleveland City Council was set to introduce legislation Monday night that would fund the initiative for a second year with another $1.9 million. Bibb said the program has exceeded my wildest expectations, and he hopes to make it something Cleveland does every year going forward. A Home for Every Neighborhood was pitched in early 2024 as a way to combat Cleveland's growing unsheltered population, which Bibb says was exacerbated coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic with inflation and increasing housing costs. Cleveland's plan to head into homeless encampments to connect people who were unhoused with landlords willing to accept them as tenants. The city would then pay rent for 12 months. The program also connects each person with a case manager who connects the person with wraparound services along with donations of furniture, hygiene items, grocery store organizations partnering with the city. Ideally, the combined effort will set the people up for success past the 12 months, and they'll find permanent housing. Cleveland is doing this work along with Cuyahoga County and partners like Frontline, I'm in Ministry, Westside Catholic Center, and Northeast Ohio Coalition for the Homeless. So far, the new approach has worked, said Liam Haggerty, who leads Cleveland's program. He said during a press conference that while other cities are threatening people in encampments with arrests and forcibly moving them, Cleveland is treating people with dignity and using a housing first model. It's a little more to that as well. Not too much more on that, but so you know what I'm saying. I tell you to read that. I had recently read a story, I believe it might be in Finland, where what they did with their homeless population was give them a stipend of, I believe, something in the $1,000, $2,000 a month range and find them apartments. And doing that has managed to, of course, do exactly what it would do. It keeps them off the streets. It has kept them housed. It has gotten them in the system in a way that they can, therefore be treated medically and so forth and so on. This is basically the European model of trying to handle homelessness. And as you can tell, kind of works and works well when you have agreeable landlords who are basically like, okay, I'm definitely getting paid. Then sure, like, why won't I take this on? And I dig it. That's the kind of politics your boy wants to talk about when I'm talking about politics that work. Basically, socialization. You know what I'm saying? It's just because that works. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all do communism, socialism. Well, socialism works. Communism, here and there, but socialism.
Like true Marxist communism, you could make an argument for that it works.
Yeah, but man, we never get there because
because of greed and
Yeah.
Well, they've also tried this model in several other cities, and at the end of it, the study, everybody's like, "Wow, this actually worked!" Like,
And it's one of those like super obvious, like, yes. Guess what? If you give them a home and the money to take care of themselves, treatment if necessary for who knows what, because a lot of times homeless people are people who might have some kind of mental illness and or so forth and so on. Yeah, just works. And I don't know why we have got. Well, I do, because we've decided empathy is a bad word in this country.
Well, and you have the richest man in the world who was quoted a figure on how much it would cost, like in hunger in this country, and he bought Twitter instead. So,
Box used to host a show called The Paper Champ, and I feel like a lot of these motherfuckers is billionaires and so forth and so on. Like when it come down to actual factual cash on hand, like what you really got in your bank account, like this actual money, you know what I'm saying? What you got? These wealthy people who, you know what I'm saying?
He not liquid for sure.
For sure. So I have to laugh at these fools. People mad about these ladies going to space the other day, and I guess I should be mad. I simply have not even. I can't even bring myself to give much of a damn.
That's kind of where I was. I was like, I heard that Gail was going, and then I heard Gail wasn't going, and that was the last I heard of it. And then I was like, then it happened. And then all of a sudden, I started seeing all these videos of women being extremely angry. I'm like, why is everyone mad? Because I had completely checked out of it. And then I had a conversation with someone today who was basically saying that they were trying to push it as this like great feminist thing and how we should all be so proud of these women doing this. But it's really like a mission for Jeff Bezos to go and see, can we dump a bunch of trash in outer space? So then like Gail was getting tired of the pushback, and she came and said some really insensitive thing about like, have you been to space or whatever? And it's hard for me to hear critique of Black women by non-Black people, specifically non-Black women. Yes. So I had to like check out of the whole thing. And then when I was getting caught up on it with my friend this morning, I started getting mad, and I was like, see, this is why I've completely checked out of this, because the only thing I knew is I saw a bunch of gay dudes reading Katy Perry on TikTok, and then I started seeing a bunch of people having all this like beef with Gayle King. So I was like, what's going on? And I'm so glad that I don't care. Not that I feel like I'm not better than anyone who does care. It's just I have completely, unless it's happening here in the district or it has to do with sports, and even that is a smaller piece of the pie, I really don't know what's going on right now.
I feel kind of good about that. And it's not that I'm trying to avoid news. I just need some sanity.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to avoid news.
Yeah. Right now, that which is being presented to me is not giving me peace. It's giving me a lot of like, whatever. Let me tell you something. I got to be real honest with you. If I had the bread to be able to go to space, I'd go to space. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. I loved the idea of being able to go to space. This is where me maybe one day being able to go to space starts. It's expensive right now, but maybe one day it's cost as much as a plane ticket. An expensive plane ticket nonetheless, but
sure. I think it's just a read the room situation. Like we starving, people losing their jobs left and right. We supposed to care about 7 women going to space. Like, why don't you make it safe for 7 women who are Black to have a baby?
Yeah. It's so easy.
Right.
So, that was your news for the week. And with a little extra of me, telling you about the, Blue Origin sending folk to space in their penis-shaped rockets. I don't know if y'all have seen Blue Origin's rockets. They're very phallic. I know you think most rockets are just whatever. No, most rockets are, rocket-esque, but theirs has a basically a head. And I'm not joking.
You've never heard of red rockets?
Oh my God. The lipstick. The Amazon Smile is a penis. Go look at it.
It's happening right now. Then we're gonna point at it. It's a penis.
That's some TMI, man.
It's a penis.
It's a penis.
What's this tell me about Jeff Bezos?
Right. That means he got a little tiny penis. That's what it tells me.
Rocket. I need y'all. I'm telling y'all right now, that shit is a wiener.
A wang.
Look, or a sex toy, I guess. I'm saying here, I'll pull up this wired photo. Y'all see, I'm like, sir, you made your rockets look like a sex toy.
Oh yeah, it's either a dingling or a vibrator.
Yeah, that looks more like a vibrator to me. Then
for sure, it's phallic. You know what I'm saying, in its design.
It's the head, the capsule part that's like, yeah, it's very penisy.
Yeah,
that just means penises are aerodynamic.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's sound. I guess. I guess if you're running with it,
you could do a helicopter with it.
No helicopter. Box, are you prepared, sir?
Sure.
All right, very good. Hold on, somebody in the chat with a big O. Hold on, let me do this. Let me show on the stream. It's a big O.
Hi. That looks like a penis a little bit, a little ball.
Well, y'all know the deal. When it's someone's segment, well, you're saying currently Boxer is the only person I really have made a video for. I made one for Gabe too. Gabe has a video for when he's on the show too, so Gabe has a video too. But Box has a whole little segment, and it goes with the start with this right here. Hold on.
I hope it's like the Wonder Years where like you got me like playing in the front yard by a white picket fence, and then like me looking lovingly into like my crush's eyes as I kiss for the first time, and then all of a sudden I'm getting on a boat to war. And then,
I thought it would involve books in some way, story time, but damn.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess reading Rainbow works too.
I need you to know. Just listen to every word we say in that little bit, right? And just imagine everything he said is happening on screen if you're listening to the audio version screen. Because I made it a point to build something great with that. And not recently, but I have actually replaced the ship in that segment to get a more cool looking ship, because the ship that I had video of, it definitely looked like CG. And so I went and got him proper, ships and stuff out in the ocean.
You needed to get the video of George Bush landing onto that helicarrier.
I shan't. Story time, Lunchbox. Box man, what's been pop with you in the week since last we spoke?
So your story today about the record store day inspired me to tell a tale of my defeat that I suffered today. I was disappointed because I was prepared. I was on time. I was aware of the situation. I gave it everything I had, and I came up empty. I tried my damnedest today to get that Red Robin Bottomless Burger card that they were advertising for Burger Month next month. I was on the website 10 minutes before the queue went live. I was clicking that button with great fury, and the servers got me. I became a victim of circumstance.
Damn.
And I tried getting that bitch for an hour and 6 minutes.
Like you was trying to get some Beyonce tickets.
Where I come from, it's just as important.
I feel you.
I've always heard of like restaurants doing this kind of thing. Like Olive Garden had like the pasta card or whatever.
Last year. Last year, I think they did it. Olive Garden did it, or Red Robin too. It was like $500. It was something crazy, but it was like lifetime free food.
Yeah, like Olive Garden's done something like that a couple times. Like I've heard about it before. But yeah, like I don't even I was scrolling Instagram the other day and I follow like one of those pages where it's like deals pages, and they mentioned it. And then like I sent it to like my brothers, and they're like, "Oh, I don't even like Red Robin." Well, I was like, "Well, fuck you guys." And then it just so happened that like yesterday, one of my buddies in our Discord chat like posted it, even though like I saw it a couple days ago, and I was like, well, shit, maybe this is like a sign that I should try and do this. So like I told my dad, I told my other buddy and everything, and I even texted my dad. I was like, hey, the queue starts in 6 minutes. Get your ass in there. And yeah, dude, I had it open on my phone. I had it open on my computer, and
Damn.
I was refreshing so much that their servers eventually blocked my IP because they said I was exhibiting bot activity with constant refreshing. And so like I had to pause it for a couple minutes so that it would like unblock my IP address. I got like onto the page where like you would fill out your information to order the thing.
Yeah.
But every time I got to that page like 6 times, and every time I get on the page, it would just do the little spinny circle of loading, but never actually load the form.
Damn.
So by the time like I got the page to actually load, it was obviously because they sold out the damn carts. Like once you refresh the Red Robin main page, it was like all the burger passes have been sold, and I screenshotted it, sent it to my dad, and I said, "Fuck America." I literally said that. I was so angry. I was like, "Yeah, tariff everybody. I don't give a fuck. Burn it to the ground."
$20.
Yeah, it was a hell of a deal. So for $20, you got that pass, and you could literally go to Red Robin every day in the month of May and get a burger and a bottomless side. So it was like you could go like so much value. Like if you went twice, that thing more than paid for itself.
Yeah.
It says at a potential value of $682. Because I know if I could, with my like cholesterol, whatever, if I had this deal, I would be at Red Robin every day.
Yeah. Like it's not that I necessarily want to eat a Red Robin every day, but for $20, like that's
Right.
a deal.
The backyard barbecue pork burger, the backyard barbecue pork nachos, peach berry freckled lemonade, spiked peach berry freckled lemonade, peaches and cream milkshake. Red Robin was calling you, bruv.
Damn.
That card is dope. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I just recently saw the if you like, you know, if you play in the major league for like I think eight years straight or up for 8 years, they'll give you like a lifetime pass. It's like they call it the gold card, and it's actually absolutely gorgeous.
Chipotle has something like that where like if you're famous or whatever, they give you like their black card or something like that.
I need to get that.
That's the thing that kills me is like you're rich and famous, and then you just have companies give you passes to get shit for free.
Rich people get so much free stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's the only reason to go to like the Oscars or whatever is for the fucking swag bags.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But yeah,
the Chipotle card
I
ain't
wanted
cool.
that thing, and the internet denied me, and it hurt. I did not want to like continue my work day. I really gave it my all out there, and
I wonder if anybody out here
short.
is anybody out here trying to sell them shits? Are they connected to your name? How does that work? You know what I'm saying? What's the most you would pay for this thing? I know 20 was the baseline. You know, we always got to do that, but
I mean, like if someone had one and I could buy it off them, I'd give them like 50 because like I'm not gonna commit to like going to Red Robin every fucking day in a whole month. So it's like $50 means I have to go like at least like 3 times to make it worth anything. Beyond that, like we're pushing it.
I get that. I'm with you. I'm trying to find y'all the MLB Gold card because I think it's really, really attractive. Yeah.
What does it give you access to? The MLB card?
Lifetime pass to any game for you and a guest.
Oh.
You can walk in. Best seats that are still available that day are yours. So if you have, I think it's 8 years of 8 years through, like you're saying, so you can't get sit back down and then come back up. Like I said,
Well, that's not fair.
Well, yeah, I know, but
That's the other thing too. Baseball players, they make a gajillion dollars. What they need free tickets for? But I also get it too, because if I was spent, my good years in the league, I wouldn't want to pay to go see no games either, especially for the team I played for.
And I guess they have been doing this since like the 1920s or something like that, like for a long time. Once again,
that's awesome.
There's a whole lot of screen sharing going on this one, y'all. You might want to watch the video because I keep like.
I wonder if they do a similar thing in the NBA, which is why, that's dope. Which is why all the former players be courtside and stuff.
Yeah, like if I had this bad boy in my wallet, come through. Yeah, so I dig the way I saw like.
That shit looked like a gold bar.
Yeah, so I gotta support something like that, man. I'm so sorry that they played you on on your possible.
I just checked eBay and none are listed and none have sold. So It may be non-transferable.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if is there something to, like there's just a hitch to it that whatever. So
demoralizing.
Yeah, it'll take you smooth out. But
yeah, it reminded me of back in the day when like we'd be in the office and the amiibos would go up.
Bro.
I'll never forget that day where you were mad at me for getting that gold Mario, and because it was like my third one, and you hadn't gotten one yet.
And now, of course, Gold Mario sits on the shelf next to Silver Mario. Like I can see them from right here, so it's okay. I got them.
I know, but it was just like I remember going over to your cubicle and like you looked like you were ready to choke me. It was like the angriest I ever seen you at me.
Now, amiibos still work. It still exists. We'll work on this upcoming Switch. That's the thing they're doing. And they announced Street Fighter 6 amiibos, and they announced some new Zelda ones. Guess how much amiibos cost now? You know what we used to pay for.
All right, so they were like 13 before, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess $19.99
for them Street Fighter amiibos. $30 each.
I was gonna say 35.
And I want one of them because it's like the first like black woman Street Fighter, and I'm like, fuck, I want that. That'd be dope. I cannot justify $30 for a tiny hunk of plastic. I simply cannot. And normal amiibos at this point go 20. So you are right. That $19 is about right. So it is what it is. I can kind of point at that cabinet right there. You can really see it if in the video, but it is chock full of Vanessa's Zelda amiibo still mint in box because I still buy her those when they come out. I get her the new Zelda ones, and they go right there. So
Nintendo just makes the greatest products to just hook you guys.
I laugh so hard because people are so mad about this Switch situation right now, and I'm just like, okay, it's Gail King going to space. I can't be mad, y'all. I can't do it.
I don't even know what it is. That's how little I'm out of so much touch.
So it's
lit. I'm off of the socials that go like this.
I was going
pictures.
That was literally going to be a question I was going to ask. What during this Lenten season did you put to the side?
Yeah, at first it was Blue Sky, but then I realized that at first it was Instagram, but I like Instagram. It's people that I know. It's people from home. It's like pretty much the only way that I'm in touch with people from home. Yeah. And I think I like Blue Sky because it's just like more text and I can do it wherever. But then like Blue Sky annoys me so much.
It is because we just don't have a properly built up black sky, as it were.
It's not that. I think because I still have basically the same skyline as I had timeline on Twitter, but like I was trying to go out on a limb and follow some people that I didn't know from Twitter or whatever. But there's this like what I imagine Facebook to be like these days, where people are just kind of corny in the worst way. And the threads are corny and it's just pictures. It feels very horny in the most awful way. It's just like all these horny people showing off for each other. Like just DM each other. I don't care. When Twitter was at its worst for me, it was like the more I followed popular people, it felt like everybody's dating app DMs were exposed and it's just a bunch of people performing for each other. Yeah. And that's the part of Blue Sky that is so annoying to me. I'm like, okay, you're the best person at sex on earth. Good for you.
And then people don't take jokes well over there.
Right. And then there's like memes and photos and the format for the threads is so corny. It's just like, if I see another album thread, I might throw up.
I'm not surprised that people that fled Twitter to go create their own app don't take jokes well. Sorry.
Twitter is just like so bad now that it's like you can't go hang out on Twitter at this point. It's Nazis. It's just Nazis and Nazis doing Nazi shit.
I miss Black Twitter. Rod's like my only like foray into Black Twitter anymore, so I just get like a dash.
Yeah,
I feel like Blue Sky is like that for me for the most part, but then your audience gets broader quicker. Mm-hmm. I have a lot less followers on Blue Sky than I had on Twitter, but you get a lot more interaction, which I do enjoy, but it's from people who are very literal.
Yeah. And I'm like, bro, what is it say? Bro, that's a whole nother sentence.
That I didn't say.
That I did not say. It's like, please don't do that.
And I do think it's a lot of people who heard about what a good time we were having on. Like, I don't think it's the creators who like couldn't take a joke and made a platform. I think it's people coming from Twitter because they hear us like shit talking over there. So now it's a bunch of people from Twitter like, I'm gonna be a Nazi in your mentions, and I'm gonna be hate, and literal. It wasn't like this when the mass migration came over. It's just recently gotten like this in the last probably like month or two.
Yeah. They block game is stupendous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You block a motherfucker on the side and you'll change their life because it blocks in a way that's like, oh shit, if you block the right way, it's like people who they was fucking with can't even, it's like crazy. So I do like how they do that. And I got all the little downloads, like I said, they little version of TikTok. I have it, I don't use it, but it's there. I posted like 4 of my TikToks on there. I just download them, put them over there, and it's just record TikToks because it's what I like fuck with. And
I noticed that Instagram stole that shit from TikTok, where you try to leave the app, and then it's like, "Are you sure you want to leave?" It's like you got to hit back again to exit, and I'm like, "Motherfucker, you sold out."
Oh no, my version of Instagram does not do that. Man, never.
Mine neither. I also
get ready.
I also gave up fried food, meat on Fridays, bread, and I'm trying to avoid added sugar.
Okay. I threw the can away. I tried a
alcohol is my exception though. If I'm drinking, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. A Liquid Death's root beer today. And I've had it in the fridge for a while, and I finally tried it today, and I was like, that ain't bad. It's just like root beer flavored water with like a little bit of I think they use agave as their sweetener.
It tastes like a root beer soda that lost its soul a little bit.
It had a bit of a floral back end that I was like not hype on, but I wasn't like taking a back on. I was like, that ain't bad. I can see drinking those, So I kind of like that. I want to find their Dr. Pepper like dupe or whatever, because that's what I want. If they can hit that one out the park, then that's the one.
I had a probiotic Dr. Pepper-ish thing that was real good.
Which was it? Ollie or
Ollie?
I think it was Ollie, because Poppy is like $3 a can, and I'm not doing that. I think it was Ollie.
Yeah. The one of them got absorbed by Pepsi, and I was like, yeah, that's about right. Because that's why these companies exist. They want to be, they want to be the next
get the bag.
Vitamin water, like getting absorbed by some company. So, and that's exactly what happened. Pepsi's like, yeah, I'll take that. So I don't need the probiotics or whatever. But it's I forgot we called your segment. The knickknacks.
I forgot to. It was cute, whatever it was.
There you go. Whatever it was cute. But it's Nick's turn. The show is yours, my friend.
So I was going to talk about something totally different. And then I was like, you know what? It's Holy Week. I'm about to come on here and talk about that a little bit, but not in like whatever way. You and I, T, talked about something a while back that I'm going to try to talk around. Oddly enough, trying to protect the person who isn't going out of their way to protect people. But someone that I love and respect, it was brought to my attention that they were preaching like homophobic and transphobic stuff. And I was surprised because it just didn't feel right for this person, but who told it to me is a very reliable source. So I'm like, well, let me go hear it in context, because maybe they were telling a story or maybe there's whatever. And it was worse in context. It was the biology was wrong. The history was wrong. And like, my thing is, if you're going to a church, when the pastor or whoever steps down from behind the holy desk and starts talking, I would caution you to be wary of somebody who's speaking about people who are not in the church. Because what is the reason? Why are we talking about gay people? You don't have no gay people in your congregation. So at minimum, you're creating hatred or fear against people. You're dividing families, possibly. Like, what is the purpose? What is the reason? And then also, like, this is your opinion now. And you need to make a hard line to separate your opinion from what you are teaching out of that book. And he did neither. And it was very like, I was disappointed. I was super disappointed. And it really like changed my opinion of this person that I had a great deal of love and respect for. And I feel like in this day and age, so many people are leaving the church for many, many reasons. And it's sad because for me personally, it's just for me, my relationship with God is the most important relationship in my life. So I'm going to go through some things in some churches until I find the right one. And for the last 5 years, I've been streaming church online because it's the closest thing that I could find. The pastor's young. He went viral for having sense during COVID. He recently has gone viral because he was supportive of gay people, and he like quadrupled down, came back every week for a month and was like, I don't care. I said what I said. I'm getting threatened. Other pastors are emailing me, calling me gay. He's like, I don't care. I said what I said. But that church, I would call them accepting and not affirming. And it's also, I have been a little bit missing like going inside of a church. When I first moved to DC, I went to a church that was super like progressive, one of them churches, but the pastor is a former prosecutor, and he said some things and supported some politicians that I was like, oh, I can't really do this either. So I take a walk, in my neighborhood on Sundays, and I had been passing by this one church, and a few weeks ago I passed by and I was like, let me go look them up online. They're an Episcopal church. I was raised Catholic. I know they're cousins.
Yeah.
And like one of the very first things you see on their website, everyone is welcome here. We're talking about LGBTQ folks. We're talking about race, class, whatever. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I did a little bit more digging, and I see some photos. I'm like, oh, it's kind of diverse, which we know that church is one of the most segregated places in America, which no shade, I don't mind. But also, if you're going to be multicultural, I need it to be from top to bottom, like not just the congregation, but also the leadership and the clergy and whatever. So I do a little bit more digging. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pop in, I'm gonna go visit. So I go, and everyone is lovely. I met so many people. I sat behind a lady who introduced me to like everyone in the church or whatever. I stayed after for the coffee hour. It was really nice, and it is a little sleepy. It's not what I'm used to being, in a non-denominational church for the past 20 years, but it did very much feel reminiscent of my Catholic upbringing or whatever. Okay. So the Episcopals, they really do not care if you're gay. They have gay leaders. They marry gay folks. Like, they do not care. And that is what I needed, because the accepting is okay, but the affirming is where we are. And I just saw so many different kinds, because my thing was, I'm like, I don't want to be the only person of the global majority who is not eligible to draw Social Security. And I wasn't, which was nice. So they all wear name tags. They had me write in a name tag the first week I went. And the guy who makes the name tags, he took a liking to me. He's like, I'll have yours next week. It usually takes longer than that. But if you come back next week, I'll have yours. So I came back the following week. Sure enough, I had my name tag. People remembered me. People recognized me. The Reverend had emailed me throughout the week. So it's the same diocese as the Reverend Wright Buddy.
Yeah.
So she doesn't preach there, but this is her diocese. And it was outside. You could hear someone wailing, screaming, like in pain. And then the sound got more agitated and violent sounding. And I know that like in the front, in the vestibule, there was one lady, a younger lady, and a man out there by themselves. So then people start getting up and going to see like what the ruckus is. And then you can hear somebody being like, calm down. You have to calm down. You have to calm down. And so I'm sitting there while the Reverend is doing his sermon, and I'm thinking, okay, this is a make or break moment. Because somebody from the community, like obviously a person who doesn't have a place to live, is having an episode. Yeah. Now, are they going to walk the walk, or is this the last time I come to this church? So the service goes on, a bunch of people getting up, going back and forth, whatever. Later on, I guess somebody gets a message to the Reverend. He comes on the mic and he says, that was so-and-so. He's a member of our community. They have a thing there where they feed people and try to get them services and resources and whatever. And this person attends that place. And so they know him, and he was like, he's getting the help that he needs, you know, whatever. So then later on during the announcements, a person who was out there came and said that they called emergency services. This person was having a mental breakdown. They are on the way to the hospital getting the help they need. So they did call the police, but it was not a criminal thing. They didn't like take them to jail. They made sure that like the proper thing was. And then in that moment, I was like, exactly. This is an exhibition of Christ's love, that somebody who was in need came in here and got help and not like arrested or turned away or whatever. So I was like, I think that I'm in the right place. So this Sunday, which is Easter, I'll be going back for my third Sunday.
Right. I'm glad. I don't know. I think it's nice that you found a church home, a potential church home.
We're still dating.
During what is basically, you know, the basis of Christianity. The
Christian Super Bowl.
The big important part of the, you know what I'm saying, the calendar, as it were. And it's nice. That's super nice. No, I don't cotton this to service no more. It's not in me.
Sure.
But I love that people who do find themselves and can find themselves in a spot that's like, you seem to be doing right and doing not just right by you, of course, and that's dope, but by all. And
it's 90 minutes. The communion is freshly baked bread that somebody from the church bakes every Sunday. One of the older,
wine or grape juice?
It's wine, and they have a little thing that they say after he goes, it's wine, whatever. It's sweet and strong, and then the whole church says, just like Jesus. It's so adorable. So one of my favorite kinds of people on earth are older gay men. Yeah. And this older Black gay man was standing next to the Reverend, and I walked up after service. He leans over, he goes, that's Nicole. Last week was her first week. And I was like, oh, you know, hey, he knows me, whatever. And so he leans over to me. He was like, it's your second week. You're starting to make it a habit. You come 4 times, we're gonna start asking you to do something. I'm like, I'm with you. That timeline works very well for me. Thank you.
Oh my God. So when's the last time you got to be at a church for Easter?
I typically don't go to church on Easter because it's like going out on New Year's Eve. It's amateur hour. So even like when I was actively serving in the church, you really wouldn't find me at church on Easter. I would go to like early service or go to like a Friday night, Good Friday. So I would have it done for the week. But probably last time I was probably a kid or maybe in my 20s when my mom begged me to go with her. But everybody know I don't do church on the high holy days.
Yeah. It's also 420 that day for y'all who celebrate that particular.
But you know what? I could do both.
Oh, I know.
Right. So that is not a conflict for me.
Hell yeah, seems very inappropriate for this matter. But heck yeah, I'll correct myself a little bit on that one. That does my heart right, Nicju. I love that for you, and I love that for your faith journey and so forth. And yeah, dig on that, man.
And not to say that like
anybody managed to disappoint you in this situation, but
and not to say that like rocked my faith or made me lose hope, but there are just so many examples of bad churches and awful theology, and just like at a time when the world is turning against this very small group of people, to see the church joining in on that feels disgusting in a way that I cannot describe. The least of us, what a trans person's experience is, to me, invites the Christian faith to be like, come here. Come here. But instead we're doing this. And it doesn't feel very Jesus-y to me.
Yeah. Facts. Y'all know we continue to fight the good fight here no matter what. And that shall always be the case. My child today, I talked to him about it this morning. I was like, this is you at the top of the roller coaster hill. It is all straight down and gone in just a very short time. You're about to be very done with this situation. And because he kind of was like, man, I don't even want to go to the, you know what he said? I want to take this test and come home. And I'm like, I'm not going to say you can't do that, but you know what it is. You're off tomorrow. You're off all of next week. You know what I'm saying? You got spring break. You got some time away that you truly need. You're good. Get refreshed, get ready, and then like the rest of this is basically them celebrating you leaving.
Yep.
It's
It's just senioritis. We all had it. Like we did, like my groups of friends, we were kind of the misfit outcasts. So I didn't do all of the things, but I forced myself to go to prom or senior ball is what they called it. But like on ditch day or whatever, we hung out with our friends who were underclassmen and like went somewhere else. Like I didn't do all of the things. I did just enough of them to be like, okay, I did it.
I have been on him all year to just make sure he says yes to more things.
Yeah.
And the only thing that he was like, I ain't doing that, was he didn't go to winter formal this year. And I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
And like he goes, it's whack. They don't really do nothing there, and so forth and so on. Prom's taken care of already. Prom tickets are gotten. Tux is picked out. Going to get a haircut Saturday. So that way, by the time prom comes, it's just like the 3rd of May. Everything is grown in, and it will be what it needs to be. And so I'm very excited for all. I'm excited for all of that. Like I said, it's just it's a dope time. So
I listened to that episode when you went to visit your family. First of all, I love your mother so much, and your sister seems dope too. I just want to slide into the family reunion in Tennessee. I'm sure no one would notice. But what I was tripping off of is how deep Lee's voice is, even from a year ago when I saw him. I was like, "Is that Xander?" Wait, no, that's not Xander. That's my baby.
It's so funny. He's walking around the other day, and I'm like, "Oh, is that taco meat on your chest?" Like, look at you, little man. So I had to laugh at him and getting fur. He got the little. It's not. I'm gonna go a little more than peach fuzz. We do got the little peach fuzz on his face. I'm like, all right, you coming along, nice little man. So of course, when you go to this barber this week, you got to get that cleaned up. Like, you got to get that hit, bro. Get that taken care of. But I'm just. I'm proud of the path he walks through and the growth he's going through. We are still, I know it seems weird to be looking for schools at this point, because probably right now we should have settled on something, but it's just been like, it's been weird and so forth. He did retake the ACCs, and he did get those 3 extra points that I asked of him. I actually got 4 points, big up. So that means his the amount of schools that he can attend has opened a little bit wider.
Awesome.
And I'm like, that's dope. And then he sent me a school the other day. Nazareth in Rochester, New York. And he go, they got my major. He goes, this is how much they give in financial aid. This is how much blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. We're running games. I'm like, all right. So that is one that we're observing. Eastern.
What does he want to major in?
Music therapy.
How's he considered DC?
When we were with my sister, we were talking about the general DMV, because there's a school down there that's close to Norfolk, and I cannot remember it, but that was also, we were like, your auntie said you can live down there. You can basically use her address. Therefore, you become an in-state after a hot second. So on. So it's like,
not the HBCU.
I think it is.
Oh, it's hold on, I'm gonna Google it, because I used to I lived down there doing a show. It's Norfolk State.
It was in Norfolk State. It didn't seem like it, but maybe. I'm not gonna say nobody wrong.
It's either that or it's Old Dominion.
No, we looked at Old Dominion, but my sister was like, that one too far away.
Yeah, it's got to be Norfolk State.
Yeah. So it's there you go. So yes, yeah. And there's nothing on the table. Basically, I just I would like him out of the great state of Ohio until the great state of Ohio can get some good sense.
Yeah.
And right now they don't have it. So I'm like, no, don't stay here.
Yeah, just go somewhere. Might as well.
For your safety, my sanity, let's not be here. So
and just to like leave where you're from. You can always come back. Just leave. Yeah,
for sure. So we will see how that all plays out for my little man's. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. What was I going to tell you about? Oh, for tea time. Well, hold on. First of all, thank you, Nicole, for sharing. Mm-hmm. It's a dope tale, and also good shit and I dig that. For tea time. Oh, yeah, you know what? Hold on. Actually, there's some in the cup still. There you go. Pink is out, baby. Because it's classy. Krème Patisserie is back. I have been doing stage crunchy milk now. What is this? 13th year box? Whatever number it is.
Long ass time.
And clearly I love it. And I do it. But it's like that. and it's consistent. And so it's like it's just kind of here. But Krème Patisserie comes in batches.
Mm-hmm.
And so those batches are super dope because they're fucking concentrated as fuck and they're super specific. We don't really ebb too far out of anything we're talking about. It is baking and baking only. And because of Brad Gessner, local to Ohio, he's a Stark County prosecutor, being on last season of the Great American Baking Show, I have our foot through the door of all things the Great American Baking Show.
Crazy. It's crazy.
And can kick it in relatively easy. Last year, they had a different PR firm. And I had wrote that guy this year to be like, hey, what's good? Never wrote me back. I wish you would just hit me back and be like, we ain't doing that this year. Just tell him we ain't fucking with them no more. That's cool. And in fact, he still gets copied on emails that he probably shouldn't be because, again, they don't use that firm anymore. But because he never wrote me back, I ended up reaching out directly to the people that Brad had copied on his email because I keep all these emails, who are all at Roku. I hollered at them. They hollered their new firm. They give me a connect. Right from there, it's rolling. Brad reaches out to me and like, we're all in a group chat together already. All the bakers do that. So they just add themselves to a big old group chat. I'm like, dope. Let any and every of them know that if they want to come do the show, they are more than welcome. I will. As soon as he did, 3 people hit me up immediately. Was like,
Wow.
I'm down for the get down. It's like, excellent. At the same time, I'm catching emails from this new PR firm that's like, yeah, would you like to talk to the winner? And I was like, sure thing. Well, the winner is this. And they just hit me with it.
Oh, no.
I will never forgive you for this. Because more than anything else, I love watching Bake Off and the baking show because I'm a fan of it. And so last year they offered me the different PR firm offered me an interview with the winner, but did not tell me anything. I didn't know the winner until I knew the winner. And by that time, it was like easy to get her. She's done the show since another time. That's folk. Word to McKenzie. But this time, this one, they was like, here she is. Don't tell nobody. Now they don't make me sign up, but they do be like, just come on, be cool. And I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be cool. I'm not gonna go tell nobody. But
so it's a lady who wins, huh?
Yes, but here, well, all. And I'll tell you, I have to say this: all 6 episodes available right now for free on the Roku channel. Literally, I have to PR that shit. And so, yeah, you would if you've watched all 6 episodes by now, you would know that yes, a lady won. I will not tell you who because Nick hadn't gotten there yet.
Well, now I know because you interviewed her.
Oh shit! Okay, well there you go. And
Damn it.
sorry.
This is what happens when you kick down that door, you walk behind the curtain.
You know what? I hope it brings it to a place where we were talking about this on the show the other night. Like there's an extra slice. Maybe we become the American
extra slice.
Additional slice.
An additional slice. Go ahead, give me seconds, whatever you want to call it.
I'm gonna manifest it. We can both meet in New York and shoot the season in like a weekend.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Get Aunt back.
I love Bake Off. I love Paul and Prue. I love the tent. I love Zach and Casey for the American version. I like that we have just a little bit of a difference in our own little brand of humor and so forth and so on. But what's dope is these bakers, 2 of these bakers so far, and they've told me straight up, I listen to your show to prepare for my time in the tent.
Crazy.
I'm not saying we have any influence, but we at least have presence in people who go and do this mind. And that's so dope to me. So the other night, Nick and I sat down with Daniel Freiberger. That is his name. And I'm like, that's a cold ass name. Well, I'm saying that's
right.
Dope. I just think it's a dope name. And he not only did he do what we normally do is just an interview, but he's like, no, baby, I'm gonna do the whole show.
He was so fun.
Yeah. And just sat with us and helped us review the first episode, which was the perfect episode because he showed his ass that whole fucking episode. A great signature. Came in first in technical, and in the end got Star Baker.
Star Baker
Crushed. Absolutely had a great. I was like, that really worked out well. I have other bakers already lined up for the rest of the season. I've interviewed the winner. That interview is already in the can and ready to go, and it's just going to get attached to the last episode of this season. So we might have somebody on that episode, but we'll also have that part on. So it might be a longer episode because you'll have getting done with the interview. But still, today I'm digging around trying to find Elisa's information. And we will talk about that offline because I want you to know something. I want you to. It's like weird. Funny, not funny, funny, weird. So we'll delve into that one. But we're back and I'm at it, and it is great. And like I had such a bad experience, Susan, y'all. My computer super duper crashed. Like crashed in a way that I was like swapping monitors. I was like, how bad is this? And it was pretty bad, but then I now have since kind of worked it out. And I'm like, okay. Basically the new version of Premiere that I use to edit our show does not like my computer. It's just, she's getting old, and I understand that. But like I said, I end up having to roll back 2 versions of Premiere to get to find a stable build that works on my computer. And then the motherfuckers had the nerve to send me an email today talking about they was raising the price of my shit. Bruh.
Damn.
Which all you have to do, here's the deal. If you want to know how to keep Premiere at a decent price, not great, but a decent price, just say you're going to quit. Just say cancel. And they will immediately be like, here, these are your options. You can have 2 months for free, the next 2 months, or we'll just lower your price by $20.
It's like Sirius. Every time I try to quit Sirius, they're like, we'll give you a whole year for $17. Like, if you could have given that to me, I'm leaving on principle.
Cook Unity's been doing that to me for the last 2 months. Every time I go to cancel, they're like, well, we'll give you 25% off to stay.
You could have offered me this price. Why you didn't offer me this price? Why?
Right?
I do the same thing in a relationship. If I got to act up for you to act like you want me, if I had to fake leave for you to come follow me, then what are we doing?
This is actual fact, y'all. But indeed, I got a stable build, back to editing and so forth and so on. We're good to go. If I am actually at some point going to try to switch, because right now both these monitors are plugged in on a DisplayPort, and the color looks weird. It don't look right because HDMI has a better color field. Anyway, that's just me bitching. But I'm back to making Krème Patisserie with Nick. It's dope. Having at it, sitting there, like I said, we well-oiled machine at this point. Nick know exactly what I need from her. I know exactly what I need for myself. As soon as Ant can get back, I have talked to him about this. Don't worry. Don't think Ant has abandoned us. Ant got some stuff going on, and Box needs to know about that. So that's off mic too. So and so I'm back at it like a bad habit, y'all, and I love it. And I sit and I watch it, and I get to watch it multiple times, and then I go and write notes. And this time I got a fucking screener. I got all the episodes sent to me directly by these fools. They did they did not send me the score. They did send me a press kit, so I have some decent stills, and I have the key art and stuff like that. I don't have individual shots of the bakers. But you just type it in and something pops up, and I got a real nice picture. So and here's where I think it's gonna be funny. So if you hear this before you hear that, normally the image I put up is the person who got booted that week. But this week, I'm just gonna have the guest we had on the show is going to be the art,
which is good because people complain that we spoil it for them that way.
Exactly. So don't go into it looking at the art thinking that's who got booted this week. That's not what happened.
And now you can go search the show and not worried about getting spoiled because you already know who won.
There you go.
Do you put it up on YouTube?
Yes, it goes up just like this. We do it live as well, so it's the live version is available right now. If you want to go back and watch it,
you should come through.
I do edit it. Like I said, I had to edit this week because again the computer's acting a fool. So literally, I start the show, which plays a video, and then you wait a little bit, and then the Krème Patisserie video got a little length on it, so it's like it's about a minute 4 and some change, and that.
Then we got booted.
not just like whatever. I used 2 separate browsers, and both the browsers crashed at once. And I was like, what is happening? So I get back in, I refresh. It's like probably 30 seconds tops. I'm not out of the game or anything like that there. And I'm like, oh, it says it's recording. We gonna hope this bad boy was recording. And it was. So I had to cut that part out, a video that I wanted to have in the show, I had to cut in. And of course, there's always a little, always in our YouTube videos, if you ever watch the edited versions, there's a little, somewhere in there, usually around the 45-minute mark or the halfway mark of Krème Patisserie, you'll see a little button pop up that says subscribe, like, and all that good shit because it's YouTube. And I got to, get people on, on the joint to do that. The lady the champion who I interviewed the other day, has a decent social media following, and not just tag me. She like invite, what is it? It can invite you to participate in a post on Instagram.
Oh, she is like a collab.
Yeah. And of course, I do not. I've been trying my darndest not to be banging with Instagram, but I guess I need to for this particular one. So for this particular round, if you see me, well, you won't see me. You'll see the Skims feed doing it, advertising stuff. You'll know it's because KP is back and we trying to get our KP on. And so, but she has a pretty considerable following. She immediately was like, went and posted, was like, hey, I was on this podcast day. It was so much fun. This, that, and the third. My episode comes out this day. Because I told her when it would come out. So she told people, be on the lookout for this. But also, it's out right now. And it's a really great show. Go listen to it right now. And I'm like, thank you. So I'm like, there you go, lady. Somebody pushing the folds for it. So I'm hoping everybody who we get on is like that and just goes and tells people to listen or watch or whatever. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm very proud of the what we do. The baking show, American baking show is wicked short, 6 weeks, real quick. They don't do the full complement of bakers and so forth on. They film on an American schedule, so basically they do everything in 4 weeks as opposed to the bake off where they do everything in 10. So it's a much more compressed situation, but it's a lot of fun, and I dig it, man. And so I'm just glad to be back at it. I'm glad we have an inside track at this conglomerate. I'm glad they're doing more. They initially only approved basically 2 series, and here we are on their 3rd series. They've done multiple holiday episodes. They did a football episode, a big game episode. It was really fun. I actually ended up liking that. They had Katie Nolan was on there, and I dig her. And I forgot what football player they had on there, but I don't know. But it was a good time. So the American
Baking platform does the show stream on?
It is on the Roku channel. And people are like, do I need a Roku? No. Sure, it does make it easier. I'm telling you right now, if you got a Roku device, that means you can just go sit over there and do it. But the RokuChannel.com works just fine. It's free. I'm not going to tell you that, but let's just say if you happen to have a ad blocker up, it helps. It's very helpful. But it's free and it's real fun, and like all the seasons are up. They put all the episodes up at once, which I don't appreciate. I think I feel like weekly gets you more burn, which is why we do what we do. You know what I'm saying? It gives people time to talk about it and discover things and have a discussion and so forth and so on. But they want to go for more of what actually is oddly enough the Netflix model that Netflix doesn't use for Bake Off because they can't, because it's a weekly show. So if you get down with the Great British Bake Off, the Great American Baking Show is on point. It's everything you love about it. It's Prue and Paul in the tent in a lovely English field. It's just, as Nick said, some homegrown bakers from here over there doing the dang thing, and it's a whole lot of fun to be had. And if you want to hear us talk about it, we have a very, very well-oiled machine. It's it's step by step. It works like it works every time. This past week, I was in such a fit that I didn't do things like I normally do. But trust me, Tuesday come around this week, we'll be right back to it, and I'm excited to get back to it. Because even though I have all the episodes, and I had to go through each episode and see who left and when they left, because then I had to go find people and be like, do you want to come on this week and so forth and so on? Because I was basically trying to get people to come on the week they left. Didn't work out that way. I've not actually watched any but the first one all the way through. So now I get to watch these shows, these episodes, and have a good time and enjoy my the spring bake off is basically what it comes down to, a baking show. And I love it. And I hope you love it. And I know you'll dig it. Like I said, me and Nick are dope at it. And also these bakers have a good time. They've all been on TV now. So of course they have a bit of a presence. And so they know what they're doing, and they all seem to come through with a nice thing. I had Brad on to help me interview the winner, and Brad was at work. So basically Brad had to blur the background, but Brad, full suit, You hadn't seen Brad in a little bit. Brad got the beard popping right now, looking extra fly. So I'm like, hell yeah, Brad, come through. And Brad, of course, knows her. They were in the same one of the same classes of bakers. They got close. She got close to going when Brad made it, you know. So I'm like, hell yeah, that's dope. That y'all have a rapport in a relationship already. So word to Brad Gessner, hands down, for being the connect. And then like so that's another thing that happened so crazy. The PR rep hits me up and is like, so what's going on? Why is Brad involved in this? And it's an email, so there's no tone. I'm assuming tone. There's no tone. This could have been just the gentlest of questions. I'm like,
it's the homie.
Brad is my connect to. How do you think I made it to you? But I'm also like, he's just generally a pal of mine and has done this show multiple times, so he is versed in this now. So Brad, who slightly nervous the first time we did a show, Nick didn't get to be on that one. I forgot where you were. I think you're out of town at that point, so you didn't get to do the first episode we did with Brad. Slightly nervous, kind of like whatever. Now this man is like podcast pro, and I'm like, I did that, and I know I did that. I'm gonna prop myself on that one. That's what I'm gonna do. I know I did that. So, and it was dope to have him king with me that day because, like I said, that was wild. I had to take half a day to do that. I had to take time from work to go do that interview, but that ended up working out. And what's dope about that one, I got to give it up to that same PR lady who hung out with us while we recorded. She wanted to be in the room. So basically, you know, I have to let your guys in the room. Well, if I don't let you in the room, you can still hear me talking, which I didn't know. And so she was my phone doing that?
My phone ringing or something?
No, but it's doing
that static thing.
Yeah. No, that's not me. So I'm gonna tuck that over here just in case. But so she sat in the room with us, and we talked for a little bit because she got there early. In fact, she had tried to get there an hour early. She in California, so she was already, you know, saying, "Man, it's 10 a.m." So she got in that room like 6 a.m. her time. I'm like, "Nah, bro, chill, bro." She's like, "Wait a minute, this is an hour after the fact. I'll be back." And so we chatted for a little bit. Super sweet lady. I dig her, and I'm glad that she got to hang out. But what I'm saying, the reason I bring it up is because the winner had terrible internet, and so she's texting me this whole time. The PR lady is like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is so bad," because it was really bad internet, y'all. But at some point, the lady had offered to move because she thinks that the internet is just bad. First, she was like, "Let me just open the door," and she opens the door, and I watched the bars because I can see you guys' bars on my screen. I watched the bars on the internet go from X and 1 all the way up to 5. I'm like, what is that door made of? Because that is insane to me. But she was like, if I need to, I can move to the other room. And then the lady, the PR lady was like, she goes, I'm not trying to bother you. Just see if she'll move. And I'm like, you're right. You are absolutely 1,000% right. So she had just told a whole story that was ruined by basically bad internet. And she was like, you want me to start over? And I go, you know what? Do that. Yeah, do that whole story over again. She moved rooms, kicked her husband out. I was like, I'm going to kick Jerry out. I love that my man's name is Jerry. And she goes to the other part of her house, and it's like the perfect internet. I'm like, what's going on in the back part of your house that the internet ain't getting there? You need a what's it called? What's the router? Extender. Yeah. It's like, Jesus. But I was happy with that PR lady was there to kind of push me to be like, because I'm trying to be respectful and sweet, and I'm like, no, you need to ask her to move. And now in the emails I'm sending out to people, because I have to send people these emails, I'm like, hey,
good internet connection.
Make sure your internet is fire.
Yeah.
If you know that this part of your house has a bad Wi-Fi connection, please don't even bother sitting in that room. Go set yourself up somewhere else. And I know to do that now. And I wouldn't have known to do that, or even thought I should have done that had it not been for that PR lady just kind of pushing me a little bit. And I like that, and I'm grateful that she did that, because it made for a much smoother interview. It all worked out. The winner, she had such a good time. She was such a sweet lady. Very nice to just hang out and talk to her. And I was like, that was a whole lot of fun. Same thing for Daniel. The Tuesday night, I'm certain Adela is going to be great. I know Parwan is going to be great. I know Chris is going to be great. So that's so far who we have lined up so far. And if I'm going to get anybody else, who do I want? Nick, who do you think you of you know who I got? Who of what remains? It is Pablo, Alma, and Elisa.
Definitely Pablo.
You want to talk to Pablo?
For sure, I want to talk to Pablo.
Okay. Then I will aim at that and see if I can get that to happen. Oh yeah, I guess he in the Bay too, so y'all can commiserate over such matters. So there you go, people. Krème Patisserie, it's Great British Bake Off podcast. We do it it's same as this. Only Tuesdays at 8:30 as opposed to Thursdays at 8:30. And it comes out the same week, whereas Skim comes out like basically wraps around the next Thursdays when the show drops. KP has to comes out with a little quicker. So we record it Tuesday. And then the edited version goes out on Friday of that week and works pretty well. It's only usually about an hour and some change. I think this is about an hour 6. So just a little over an hour. So it's actually, like I said, it's a very standardized show. How we do it, what we do about it, has same video packages, not the same. It has video packages just like this has. Little music cues and so forth and so on. It's I think a very good show. I'm very proud of what we do here. A lot of what we do over there has informed what we do over here, actually. So that's what's popping with that. And that was your tea time. Hope you enjoyed it.
Would you say you're like the Joe Rogan of baking?
Good Lord.
God, I hope not.
If I could be again.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a podcaster that like you wouldn't find offensive for you, but like
It's like, what's his name? Chris, whatever, that does the Talking Dead.
Yes, it is very much more Chris Hardwick than anything else. That is really what we're doing.
Didn't he get Me Too'd?
Sort of.
He was the bad boyfriend, right?
Yeah. So
But didn't he make a comeback?
He never left.
I mean, don't they all?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nobody ever truly gets canceled, and we know that. We truly know that. But in Chris Hardwick's case, and I'm not saying he wasn't wrong. He was a shitty boyfriend to a woman who was much younger than him, so it already has a little power dynamic feel to it. But Chris Hardwick married into the damn Hearst family, super bread, you know what I'm saying?
And like journalism bread too.
Yeah. So things for him.
I kind of remember that like happening around the same time as Aziz Ansari, and it just felt like not necessarily a sexual assault or coercion situation, but more so like you said, a shitty boyfriend.
Yes. So that is I'm not gonna say that's exactly, but in that vein.
Yeah.
So
not great, but not like criminal activity.
Yes, that's exactly the case. Nothing he did would rise to criminality. That's exactly the point. Just shitty boyfriend. So Chris Hardwick, shitty boyfriend. Great bowler, though. I don't know if you know that. His dad was a pro bowler, so he by nature is a very, very, very good bowler. So strange things there. There you go, y'all. But each and every week, we slide down to Reddit and dig a little deeper into the subreddit that is Am I the Asshole? We pull a selection, we discuss them, we have a good time. We're going to do it again this week. So here you go.
Pistol packing heifer, stupid bitch. I'm gonna kill him.
Did you actually find the words?
No, but that's what it sounds like to me, so that's what it's gonna be until I know otherwise.
Yeah, heifer is just not one of those ones to get thrown around though.
Oh, give me a minute.
So I got 3 this week, and y'all can decide the order of operations here. First one, am I the asshole? Told my mom she can bill me using the tuition money she stole from me.
Whoa.
Am I the asshole for losing my mind because my wife keeps lying about passing gas? And
yes, I'm immature.
Last one. Am I the asshole? This one I thought Nick would get a kick out of. Am I the asshole for eating non-seafood on Good Friday?
No. We don't even need to do that one. No, you're not the asshole.
We're doing that, which is out of comedy.
Not the asshole. I used to work with this lady who was like, it was Friday during lunch. I think it was actually Good Friday. And we had burgers for lunch. And like halfway through her burger, she was like, oh my God. She was crying. I'm like, girl, you have been divorced. You've had premarital sex. I've heard you say something 7 times today that would send you to hell faster than that burger. Like, chill out. It's a thing that we do in an honorary thing. Like, that's where I draw the line with like Catholicism and all that stuff. Like, baby, this is a tradition. You're not going to go to hell.
Because I am aware of it, but don't know it. Can you explain to me? And that's the one we're going to do first. We'll knock that one out.
Yeah.
What is the deal with no meat on Friday? And what is meat and is not?
Yeah, so like the no meat on Friday, I don't really know like how it came to be, but the whole thing is to honor Jesus's sacrifice. The 40 days before he died, he fasted. So you're supposed to fast during Lent, and like, not to get on my soapbox, but if you count the days from Ash Wednesday to Easter Sunday, there are more than 40 days because you are supposed to break your fast on Sunday. I do a traditional Lenten fast. I get off my fast on Sunday. So for not eating meat, it's just really to like honor Jesus's sacrifice, penance. Basically, like, I don't know. To me, anything that is not fish is considered meat. Like, fish is okay, but some people don't eat any. But I do like a pescatarian situation, which is what most people do. That's why you get like a fish fry on Friday.
It do be popping that Lent season. And while I was out in Illyria looking for records, we did hit up a Long John Silver's because that's the Long John Silver's Vanessa recommends. And you have to remember, I have recently discovered, not recently, but I've made good sense of it, that Vanessa be always right.
Right.
So I just gotta do what the fuck she's saying, and I'm gonna be straight. And guess what I did? I went to that weird Long John Silver's, which looks just as crackish as the one over there nearer Dan's house. They both look. Long John Silver's is not a restaurant on the come up, y'all. I just want you to know.
Money laundering, friend.
And I'm telling you already, the one over there, like I said, over there in Parma, I went there probably last year around during the Lenten season as well, because it's like they're advertising fish to your boy at that point. So, and that we definitely saw a drug deal going down in the parking lot over there.
Hey man, fish is making a comeback. You saw we got a new Arthur Treacher's that opened up.
Facts. So the one in Illyria is also in a state where it needs to be painted. I walk in there, the dining room is sealed off with plastic and red tape. And I'm
like Dexter?
Like, is there asbestos in this bitch? What is happening? And so I go to the counter and brother asked me, now, he wasn't a brother, but you know what I'm saying? He asked me, is this dine in or takeout? I'm like, in this sealed?
Yeah, he eating in here.
In this plastic sealed dining room? No, I will not be eating in there. But I did get all my damn hush puppies, which is they give you a side of hush puppies with the order, and I ordered an additional dozen hush puppies. That's basically what I'm there for. It's the hush puppies. And they chicken is amazing. I don't know if you have not had Long John Silver's in a long time. Guess what? They still good. Long John's is still hitting. So slide through and go eat you some chicken. It's way smaller than it used to be. Everything is. It's shrinkflation like a mug, but still.
I think I've only had Long John Silver's maybe like once in my entire life.
Same.
It's so good.
They're not really indigenous to where I come from.
Facts. I mean, plus y'all got actual fish options out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the middle of the dang country eating some pollock or whatever the hell they fried up. So. Am I the asshole for eating non-seafood on Good Friday? I, 29, and roommate, 30, were watching TV, hanging out earlier. He is very religious, in parentheses, Christian, and I'm agnostic. He bought all the seafood for Good Friday, and I chipped in because I like seafood anyway. So I said, sure, I'll take part. I was very keen on just having seafood on the Friday, but it hit 12 a.m. without my knowing, and I got a hard-boiled egg out and started eating it after I peeled it. He looked at me, checked the time, and freaked the fuck out.
Can't eat eggs?
Apparently. He's making wild leaps and attacking me verbally. I'm just posting this because it happened an hour ago, and it's just really not a big deal. I just want some reassurance that he is being over emotional and a bit wild. And just to clarify a few things, Thank you for the replies, but there are a ton now, so I know I'm going to leave my reply. I'm going to leave my replies as they are. Fasting was not discussed. So he has a little check. I don't know what that Eastern sect that can't eat eggs. I don't know if he's that Eastern sect that can't eat eggs. Neither do I. So I'm getting the fuck out of this living situation. This is not the first time he's behaved like this. I didn't know eggs were fair game, as I do not practice this religion.
And you're being very unchristian, like by screaming somebody down.
And then there's an edit. He said 2 people are confused about time zones. As I'm writing this, it's 1:41 a.m. So wherever he is at in the world, it is indeed truly Good Friday. So,
Man, no.
It's a clear no. Boxer, you offended by this man eating eggs on Good Friday in whatever nation he comes from?
Not at all. I mean, if he says he's not religious, then what the hell?
Right.
You're definitely not the asshole. Your roommate's volatile response was uncalled for, regardless of what you ate. But what confuses me as a Catholic Christian myself, you can eat eggs on Fridays in Lent and on Good Friday. Right. So this makes 0 sense. OP responded, I'll let him know tomorrow. Seems either way, he's in the wrong. Also, I've decided to get the fuck out of here.
Damn.
Man, bruv. Yo ho. Let me scroll down, see if I see anything popping. This was like a fresh one. I didn't realize I hadn't got one.
Yeah, like he did that this morning.
Yeah. Not the asshole. You don't need to follow the rules of his religion, only for your own. Also, I've never heard of a Christian doctrine that demands seafood be the only animal protein on Good Friday. The rule is generally no meat other than seafood, so eggs and dairy are fine for most Christians.
Yeah.
If he has stricter rules than the overwhelming majority of his religion, he needs to understand that people will not be familiar with that, and that no one else needs to follow his personal Lenten rules. Plus, if he really wants to get into it, Good Friday is supposed to be a fast, not a feast. You're not supposed to go out and buy a bunch of seafood to party. Many Christian denominations ask that healthy followers eat less on this day.
Facts.
To solemnly remember Jesus' passion and death. Easter is a celebration. Kind of sounds like this guy is just looking for a reason to use his religion to attack people. There you go.
Which is the moment right now.
Yeah. You want the passing gas one now? Or we'll say that for last. That seems like a one to go out on. So we'll do this one.
To go out like the air of your butthole.
Am I the asshole? Told mom she can bill me using the tuition money she stole from me. I need to know. So this is when I snagged. I was like, that seems like it's gonna be a good time. So I'm not even aware of this one. So let me because I realize I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, and it's down the barrel. All right. When I, 33 male, was preparing to go to uni, tells me you're not from here. So my mom confessed that there was no tuition money for you. Through the years, Dad would give her cash to deposit, but she only did the first one. She spent the rest. To be honest, I wasn't even surprised. I was used to being disappointed by her.
Damn. She
promised that she would pay me back and asked that I never tell me that. He said he wrote it like that. I'm not trying to be hilarious here. And asked that I never tell me that. So for 4 years, I thanked them for the tuition money while I took out loans.
Sounds Irish.
Yeah. For reasons to do with her narcissism, I have an arm's length relationship with her. But she would say we're pretty close, as she assumes my smiling and nodding while she drones on about the same stories is a relationship. Yeah. We have a family cottage that she puts above everything else. She lives there about 90 days of the year. I've been going there with my girlfriend about 4 days for a couple summers. There we go, couple summers, which she begrudges as it takes away from her time. My dad supports my going, which is how I pull it off. She recently told me that it was time for me to start paying for some of the maintenance on the cottage since I use it. She actually suggested 1,000. What he wrote was 1K, but 1,000, which is wildly disproportionate. I told her she could take out a tuition IOU, and we could negotiate the amount with Dad. God dang, he pulled the thing out when he said that. She was speechless. She texted me later to say that it's a manipulative thing to bring up the tuition and to threaten to tell Dad. And it went on and on. I've been thinking about it. And first, I'm hurt / offended that she can't just do a nice thing for me. She has to get something for it. Second, I guess I'm not really over the whole tuition thing. You think?
I wouldn't be either.
Would I, the asshole, that's what he wrote, WITAH, for bringing up ancient history and not paying her for use of the cottage? Edited to add, it never occurred to me that I should have told him. I thought I was doing the right thing by protecting both of them. That pretty much summarizes my childhood. I mean, this guy's not an asshole, right? I mean,
No.
It's kind of a jerk thing to be shitty, but I mean, you ain't wrong.
No, and then the perpetrator playing victim, man, that's cold-blooded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Again, this just seems like what the world is right now.
And it's like the lack of accountability too. Like, babe, you took my tuition money.
Yeah.
You absconded with my educational fund.
Not the asshole, but I'm confused as to why you agreed to keep this a secret from your dad.
Yeah.
It isn't clear from your post whether or not your parents are currently married. But either way, it makes no sense to lie to your father. He thinks he spent money on your education, and for some reason, you went along with the lie. Yeah, that is weird that you did that. But I also,
A kid.
folks don't know what it is to be a child of a people who sometimes be on some nonsense. So it goes down sometimes, people. You have to forgive, folks. No, that guy's not an asshole. I'm just gonna let that one be. All right, I'm gonna refresh this one too because I think this one might have been. This one was only like 9 hours old when I first pulled it. So let's see if anything has happened in the meantime. It's still there, which is good. You know, sometimes I'll refresh these bad boys and they just gone. Am I the asshole for losing my mind because my wife keeps lying about passing gas?
No.
Taking just that. Is this guy an asshole?
He could just be a concerned husband.
My instinct is not the asshole, but then like the way he went about it might have made him an asshole. So I gotta see.
He's a victim of deceit. And he's just, he's having a hard time coping.
Edits, clarification, updates at the end. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for putting that at the top so I know there's more to be had here. I can't believe I'm even writing this now. The answer is so obvious to me, but I feel like I'm being manipulated, but I don't see why. Hold on. I'm literally going to start this over and I'm going to give us this. I'm going to give us the side-by-side cameras, y'all. I'm going for the squares, okay? Or for the rectangles. I can't believe I'm even writing this right now. The answer is so obvious to me, but I feel like I'm being manipulated, but I don't see why. I, 36 male, have been with my wife, C, 36 female, for a decade.
Ooh.
Everything is great. She's my best friend. We have fun together, and she's my favorite person to spend time with. But as of late, something weird has been up. Look, 10 years in, you get pretty comfortable with each other. You've seen each other at your worst and really been through it, which means, yes, we've passed gas from both ends and used the bathroom in front of each other.
Both ends? Oh, like
I think
both?
he means burp.
Or does he mean each person has been breaking wind?
I'm going to go burping and farting, and we go. For the past year, my wife has been farting more than usual. Again, I don't care. It's not a huge problem. But these are some pretty vile stinkers. And this might seem funny, but we're in a small one-bedroom space that's poorly ventilated. So you can imagine that there's a limit to what one can take before one politely says, babe, I love you, but you got to go to the bathroom. Here's the weird part. Without fail, she will deny it is her every single time. She'll look at me weirdly and question what I mean. At first, I thought she was being cheeky, so I let it go. But when it started happening every single day, I got worried. I asked her if there was something wrong. I asked her if there was something to be worried about. We're nearing 40. You never know. And she just looked at me weirdly and said, with the utmost emphasis and assertion, that she did not know what I meant. The next time it happened, I asked her if she smelt it, and she said no. And I looked at her wide-eyed because there is no way she couldn't smell it.
Whoever smelled it dealt it.
The rules. I lost it. Hold on. There we go. I eventually confronted her, and she said it's probably a gas leak or sulfur leak or something, which, okay, fair. But we had the place inspected, and nothing out of the ordinary turned up. I tried to confront her again and ask her really, and her answers, forgive me, really may be real. She said, and I quote, could be a demon if it smells like rotten eggs.
No. No. No.
Holy smokes.
Maybe this woman's just having intestinal problems and just isn't willing to admit it.
Is it really easier to convince me our house is haunted than just admit she's the one doing it? We live alone. I can hear it, but she has no reaction.
Damn.
And firmly denies it every time. We recently had a small spat over it where I asked her why was she choosing this hill to die on and lie for. And she looked at me like I'd given her the finger. She's gone silent. And I am now fully losing my mind trying to figure out if I'm the asshole for calling her out or if I'm just going insane.
Maybe she really is just possessed.
So, am I the asshole? Now we taking this.
I don't feel like he's an asshole. Like, if he can hear it and like, then it's happening. So this whole situation is really odd. Like,
They don't have a dog?
We about to find out because remember there's some edits here. So
Is she pregnant? Did she recently have a BBL? Because I heard those start to smell after a while.
I heard that too, and I was like, "What the hell is going on with people? Y'all got a knot, okay?" That the whole Miami airport smells like this now or something
BBL
like that. So,
juice, yeah.
Too long.
oh man, got that new BBL smell.
Apparently, too long. My wife rips stinky ones and lies constantly to cover it up. Edit 1, clarification. Someone said I should include the fact that I can hear the passing of gas many times. Not always, but most of the time. Her not farting in front of a guest is also what is pushing my buttons. Is it real? Is she faking it? Is she just farting around me and gaslighting me constantly for a year? Let's say this is the case. Why? What is the end goal?
A whole year?
Though suggesting a medical checkup, I have pushed for it. She has playfully declined, and the more I pushed, the firmer she got about dropping it, saying I was taking the joke too far. We have both had COVID twice. Okay, you're saying maybe she can't smell it because she got COVID. Okay, I'm picking it up. As mentioned before, we have passed gas previously in front of each other before. Sans embarrassing. It is the sudden increase in frequency in the alleged lying that has me puzzled. Okay, that was first edit, okay? He came back with a second edit. Edit 2, update. This is unnecessarily funny, and I know this was not intentional on his part, but here. So, this blew up. And even though I used a throwaway, I think there was enough identifying factors. She found the post. It was the third post she saw when she opened Reddit. I think I'll have to pause the replies to go have a more serious sit down with her consent. I'll update you all further. Edit 3. Wow, I am at a loss for words. So after she saw the post, she was understandably pissed off. She said I violated her trust over something trivial and untrue. I asked her to be real with me and sincerely tell me if she truly did not know what was up. And she said that she could neither feel, smell, nor hear herself.
How you can't feel a fart?
And like they're 36. That's around the age where you start worrying if it's a fart or a shark.
And if you're a woman, no, like not trying to be funny, but you could feel it in the front too. You can feel it.
Things be flapping. I hear you. I get that. She then, in all seriousness, asked me if I was pulling some shit, which is such a great turn of phrase in this situation, which I vehemently denied. I then brought up the medical concerns, which she tried to brush away.
Somebody
I offered to go with her, and she said that I was welcome to have a doctor mess my head up, but she wasn't going to do the same. When I insisted, she got really mad and called me controlling and gaslighting. We are currently not speaking.
I feel like they're trying to just fit farting puns in here now.
Gaslighting.
We are currently not speaking to each other. I've tried, but she will not budge. She said, and I quote, "Why don't you cry about it to your little incel group?" I have no idea how to proceed.
Divorce.
I've tried to be better about recommending divorce as my answer to most random things, but this do seem wildly fucked up. But it also seems like she might be sick, like in a real way. And so that's a problem.
He should record her.
Oh, for sure.
Usually when you have like gas that is to that toxicity, it's because you have things backed up inside of you that aren't moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she probably does need medical attention if that is the case.
Yeah.
Maybe she's scared.
First post, and it's a glow in the dark one. And box, man, good call. So you're saying you're being gaslit? Come on, it was right there. That's what this person writes. Let me scroll down, see if I see anything else.
That's crazy.
This person says, light some sage for the demons.
Right. Like, how you break wind and you don't feel it? Especially if it's making a sound.
Yeah. Well,
that's like, literally your ass cheeks going like this, kind of.
At that point, he simply has to record it.
Yeah.
Y'all are spot on. And even then, she gonna believe, she's gonna be like, you edited the video or whatever, or something. It's gonna be like something that's not gonna believe. I am gonna save this one because I'd like to see how this goes if maybe he edits this further. So
I wish he like bottled it. He should Dutch oven her in the bed. Like, you don't smell that? You for real do not smell that?
Like it over your head. You
right.
did it.
Right.
But if she can't smell it, you know what I'm saying? Long COVID is a thing.
But why isn't she doing it with guests around?
That part.
That's the thing that's getting me. That's the piece of information here. Whereas, like, why are you so tense and you don't let nothing out when guests, but when it's just you and him, you don't know you're doing it? Come on now.
Maybe it is a demon.
You know
the
what?
sage would help twofold. Oh no.
Is there a particular sage one needs?
It's white sage.
Yeah. And is that like are we all cool to use that, or do we need to call specific people in?
Yeah, so
check
like
with Kyrie.
You could use it. The problem is like anything else, if you're getting it from like Amazon, it's probably not the best thing to do. You should go down to a shop and get it. But it's one of those things where like you don't have to be like a shaman or whatever. You just should probably open the window if you're trying to cleanse your house of spirits and you leave the window closed, you ain't really done nothing. So
push them to one side.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Kyrie's probably got his own brand coming out.
Well, if he's really about it, he would know that that's foul to do. And he probably wouldn't do that.
It's a little witchy shop right down the road from me here. We go to every now and again. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I need it, but good to know.
It smells good. And you could also just get regular sage, like from the farmer's market or the grocery store, and dry it out yourself. And then once it dries out, burn it.
See, there you go, people. You need a ghostly demon situation that you're trying to take care of. Now you know what's up. Oh my gosh. Those were your M&Ms for the week. I hope you enjoyed them. I know I did. It's a real good round of M&Ms. So I gotta give it up for myself on that one. Let's talk about entertainment. What have y'all been watching, reading, listening to? Anything of that ilk?
I watched the last 2 episodes of Found on Peacock. I've watched the first 8 of 10 episodes of Bosch Legacy that just came out for the final season.
Okay.
So I'll finish that up tomorrow. I watched the season finale of Yellow Jackets, and I watched Wicked.
Tell me.
Tell you what.
I need to know. I need to know about your Wicked experience.
It was Saturday night. It was late.
How many sleeps?
I watched a 2-hour and 40-minute movie with two men who were very drunk and or inebriated in other recently legal ways in the state of Ohio. I was stone cold sober, and I watched a movie where Ariana Grande pissed me off for over 2 hours, and but overall it was beautifully shot, great color, interesting story. Like, you know, since I'd never seen the play,
yeah.
So, you know, just not like it was an interesting take on like a prequel to like the Wizard of Oz. I don't know how much canon is involved in all this because I don't know the Wizard of Oz lore.
Yeah,
but
a lot.
It was an interesting movie, and then, you know, I will definitely watch the. Are they only doing 2?
Yeah. The sequels are just the rest of the musical. So
I did find it funny though because I was like Wikipediaing the cast while I was watching the movie to figure out who was who.
Yeah,
and I saw that like Ariana Grande was recently divorced, and she's now in a relationship with the guy who was playing the Munchkin in the school.
Who had a pregnant wife at the time they started their relationship.
Yep. Scandalous. She gonna come out with an album called Homewrecker.
I think they call it, what did they say? She called it Scandalocious.
Scandalodious.
I've been wanting to talk to you about this damn movie for so long, Nick, just because I know how much you appreciate it.
We should do like a sideshow about it. I can't, for the respect of the craft, talk about it in these few minutes before I'm about to be too tired to continue.
It's okay, but I need y'all to know I fucked with Wicked hard. Okay, in a long and a damn short way. That is my shit.
I knew you'd be excited to hear that I finally watched it.
Yeah, man. I am glad for that. I was going to ask you a question about Bosch. Because I saw once again TikTok, you know, feeds me these shows, and somebody in the comments was like, "Oh, this is Bosch." Do you recall an episode that had Matthew Lillard as an FBI agent?
Yeah, he was in a bunch of episodes. He was like a recurring cast member in like 2 seasons.
Okay, so I can't ask. I don't know how that would wrap itself up there. I was like, was he really, like, was he the bad guy? Did he commit the crime, or what was going on? I didn't know what was happening there. But if he
was deep undercover in like the Russian mob in the one season.
Yeah,
and he like got falsely busted like partway through that season.
Yeah, he kept saying they planted a gun on him.
Yeah, like he was like running like a strip club for them or whatever as like his deep cover.
Yeah.
And then eventually like they got him out of prison, and that's when it was revealed that he was actually an undercover FBI agent.
Okay, cool. All right. Very good. Thank you. I'm gonna delve further than that. Nick, what about you? What you been
to call back to your family episode, I, like your mama, have been watching Beyond the Gates. It's my stories. I watch it every day. I would argue that the wigs are not bad. They are obvious, which is a totally different thing. Obvious wigs are obvious.
You know what? I'm signing off on that. That's exactly what it was.
Because they're good wigs. They're just obviously wigs, which is fine. I love it. I think like there are some people who I am excited to see their growth in the craft of acting as the show goes on. But I'm here for the mess. It's kind of local in its lore. They're supposed to be in PG County, so they make DC references all the time. It's a black ass, messy ass good time. I love it. Also, like your mama, I've been watching. So I'm not a procedural girl. Yeah, I don't really watch like since Grey's Anatomy. I haven't watched those kind of shows. Mm-hmm. But recently, I binged High Potential, which I like. The propaganda of it all is really difficult for me, but I press on if the story is good and I find the main character interesting. So High Potential is good. It's based off of a French show about a woman who's like a low-key, quirky genius who is helping the police solve murders, because overall the running theme of all these police shows is that the police are totally inept. Will Trent is a harder binge, so I'm still slowly catching up. I'm probably about 5 or 6 episodes behind the live show, but it's about to be summer and everybody gonna go on break. I of the shows that I've been watching, Will Trent is the hardest one for me to binge through, but it is still fine. Matlock, I'm totally caught up. The season finale is airing right now. Love it. Kathy Bates is putting on an acting clinic in the show. And Elsbeth. which I started watching because of the ads on CBS while watching Matlock. That's how they get you. CBS got so many shows, and they're just like, watch this. Watch this. Elsbeth comes from the Good Wife universe, so I'm about to start. I just started the pilot of The Good Wife. I was intimidated because it's like 6 seasons with 22 episodes a season. I'm like, oh, I'll never get through this, but it's about to be summertime. All the shows are gonna go on hiatus, so it took me years to finally finish Gilmore Girls, so I think I can finish The Good Wife.
I constantly bump into clips from Juliana Margulies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I constantly bump into clips from The Good Wife again on TikTok, and I'd be like, lightweight one. What I have ended up doing, and I've talked about, is like I end up bumping into a clip of like House, and like it's just I'm like, I need to know what it is, and somebody will get in the comments and be like, oh, it's this episode, this season, and it's on Hulu, so I can just jump on it White Creek and watch it. And like I said, the one I watched last week ended up starring a young Michael B. Jordan. So it just worked out. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh shit, that's crazy.
Of all the shows, I would recommend Elsbeth the most because it's like that. It's like watching Murder, She Wrote. It's that old school format. There's a celebrity guest star every week. The crux of it is, though, you do know who committed the murder. You see the murder happen. To me, the fun part is to watch her figure it out.
Right on. Word to Elsbeth. Okay. I'm on Daredevil Born Again. We got through, I want to say episode 6 when my man's had to get back out in these streets. So I'm excited to see where the rest of that goes. It's been a real fun watch. I think they just wrapped up this week, and of course they wrapped up this week because guess what comes back next week? Andor. So Disney Plus has a pretty good thing of like churn. You know what I'm saying? There's more shows are coming. So I'm like, good. I just saw a preview of a show on Apple TV called Government Cheese, which has a man who played Martin Luther King in Selma. David Oyelowo is in that movie, is in that show, and I kind of want to watch that. And I also want to watch what's that damn Seth Rogen joint?
The Studio.
The Studio.
It's like I watched like 3 episodes, and I'm like,
everybody's swearing it's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. So
maybe I was in the wrong mind frame.
It's all good. I have not watched either of them. I want to check those out. The only thing I actually have watched is Daredevil Born Again. I'm still playing through Alan Wake, and I'm still making good progress in that game and having a real good time at it. I am, of course, told y'all last week, and I'm on the next book in the series. I'm reading the Murderbot Diaries as I prepare for the Apple TV show that's coming here soon. I love the Murderbot books already, so now I'm just going back through and rereading these. I'm on Network Effect. It is a real good one, but you would have needed to have read. Is another novel or novella, because there's like 5 novellas and 2 novels of Murderbot Diaries, and you would have had to got the one before this one, not before it, but there's one that happened before this in the timeline to understand what is going on in this one. It is definitely one of the ones where you needed some background. And so luckily I know what it is. I was like, oh, cool. Glad this character is back. So Murderbot is a good set of books. Hard sci-fi, if you're into that kind of thing, highly recommend. I get them off of Libby and just listen to that. And the ones on Libby have fully produced cast. So it's like you get a real good, and music and shit. It's basically like, I think it says, what does it say? It says,
like a radio play,
something for your mind is what they start the book company that whatever's doing these things are, and it is like an old school radio play. So I'm like, I have a real good time with these particular audio productions of them. Murderbot is the shit. If you like some hard sci-fi on different planets and people who are definitely brown, I'm telling you right now, I know they're brown because oftentimes these people have Southeast Asian names and so forth and so on. This is why I'm so weird about them making Murderbot basically a Swedish man, no Norwegian man. Where the Skarsgårds from? Whatever country in the Scandinavian situation, because there's one of them Skarsgårds who's gonna play Murderbot. And I'm just like, y'all should do that. Because these people is definitely brown or at least tan. And you got me a dang Scandinavian playing this shit.
The original white person
from the Caucasus Mountains,
right?
But that is what I've been on. I don't think I've listened to any kind of podcast out of pocket. Y'all know what I listen to. I don't think I've come out of. Have I checked out anything? I don't think I have. I don't think I've listened to anything out of them. See, I put my phone and started buzzing. So I think I'm good with that. So Yeah, that's what's up, y'all. So there, I have to push this button. And housekeeping. You know what it is? Please tune in every Thursday. So that's when we post the show. But also, when we record the show, usually around the 8:30 Eastern Standard Time zone situation. You can typically join us in chat on Twitch and YouTube. Make sure you like and comment on YouTube. And then rate, review, subscribe everywhere else. You know what it is. Share the show all across the world because it's great and it helps more people listen to us. As I just said on KP this week, don't gatekeep us. Share us. Get us out of the streets. Pour us out. It's okay, man. If you want to support the nation and got a few stars away, consider joining us over on Patreon. Members, the $5 tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. We got merch over tpublic.com/user/stagecoach milk, all one word. Feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We would certainly love to hear from you. Our missing man is the 216 on Tatum 216. Our special guest this night is Miss Nicju. She does a show called Krème Patisserie. She does it with me. It's great. We do it on Tuesdays. Come through. Kick it with us. It's a good time, okay? That's, of course, the homie Lunchbox 2099.
T didn't think I was going to be here.
Truly did not. Was like, hey, what are you doing here? Because I thought the draft was this week. And in fact, if you go back to last week's episode, you'll hear me say, Box won't be here next week because it's the draft. But I was wrong. And he wouldn't listen. I am, of course, your host, the Internet's Tay-Rail 713. Don't make me push into traffic. We'll do it again next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.